and insulting this house without.
Order. You know, Honorable Speaker, Mistress Ginger must not do this. Why are you allowing Mistress Ginger to talk like this? It's not going to happen. President Zuma has not responded to a simple question as to when he's going to. I'm speaking, Honorable Speaker. I want President Zuma to respond.
You have no right to speak
when are you going to pay back the man?
You.
Oh.
Please take your seat. Honorable President.
No, on a point of order, Chair. No, Honorable Speaker. The President directly referred to us here, directly spoke to members. Everybody must speak through you. The President must respect the rules of this House.
Honorable.
So call him to order. Don't be afraid. Call him to order. He's
Honorable
out of order.
Ndlozi.
Or we're going to get those securities to remove him here. If he's not going to abide by the rules.
Honorable Ndlozi.
You can't speak to us directly. He must speak to us through you. That's how we deal with things here. Please.
Honorable Ndlozi, thank you very much.
Call the President to order. Don't be scared. I'm
Thank
here.
you very much, Honorable
I'll assist
Ndlozi.
you.
The second point to note is that in terms of
Deputy Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Member. Please take your seat, Honourable Member.
No, I wanted the Honourable Member to take the mic down.
Wait.
So that it doesn't hide her face, but also that it's in her mouth properly. We want to hear because she's making important subject. Take the mic down like this. Yes, thank you.
And are on the ground in crime hotspots across the West.
Honorable Manier, please take your seat. What's point of order you said?
Point of order. Are we in an auction here? Honorable Member.
That is not a point of order.
Point of order.
Honorable Manier,
Point of order.
Please proceed.
Point of order. Chair, Speaker.
Honorable Mazoni.
Speaker,
Kalepi.
in terms of some rule, can I take this question?
Please do.
Thank you. Honorable President, you know, this phone doesn't have a camera. You might want to start ordering it for cabinet members because it will save us a lot from some of the embarrassing activities. It doesn't have a camera. It can't even be hacked, this phone. Can I come maybe give it to you after so you can have a model of what phones might be critical for honorable cabinet members? And anyway, I'm very worried about the criminalization of the youth and the children. The fundamental question here is what kind of a society loses control on its children? When they go into criminal activities, when they go into gang activities, what kind of a society sends police into students? It's a society that has lost the responsibility to educate those students. It's a society that has lost the power to prepare a future for this youth. So why don't we diagnose the problem properly? Because it's not one or two students that are stabbing each other. It's a phenomenon of gangs, of drug and alcohol abuse, signifying the failures of the last 24 years to properly run a society. Why should we be sending police to children? Why don't we send social workers? Why don't we create jobs for them? Why don't we give them proper qualified teachers who are going to keep them interested in education and not getting into drugs and alcohol abuse? I think it's a shame that our solution is to criminalize those kids.
Honorable Member.
I'm speaking for
Honorable
the first time.
members, you will not hold this sitting to ransom.
I'm not trying to do
we
that.
We want to continue with the business
Can you just hear me out,
please? Please take your seat.
Honorable House Chairperson, I'm rising on a point of order. It has nothing to do with what has been said.
What is your point of order?
Thank you very much. First of all, those two people there at the door don't belong in the house. Those two people there must leave the house. Give that order. Everybody that is in here must have this card and must have been sworn in terms of his oath of office. Those guys must leave the house. They don't belong in the house. They're in the bridge of the... Even the justices are sitting on the other side. The justices are sitting on the other side. We've got two people there. I don't know them. I didn't vet them. This is my house. They must leave. Those two people there. That's number one. I don't know them. Do you know them? You look shocked, Evie. But you say this is your house. There are two guys standing there. Who are they? Do they have this? They must go. That's the first point of order, Honorable Chairperson of the NCOP. The second thing is a fundamental mistake here. We are all first and foremost citizens of South Africa, and we are not allowed, according to the Constitution, to stand for any office if we have a criminal record. The Constitutional Court, it doesn't matter whether it's NCOP, it doesn't matter whether it's legislature, even a council of councillors in a township are not allowed to hold public office if they are found to have been in breach of the Constitution. If you want to listen to a person that has breached the Constitution, go do it elsewhere. Somewhere in the prisons there, where criminals speak. I have a duty, together with other members of parliament who have taken an oath of office, to protect this house in terms of the Constitution. Mr. Zuma, please leave. Baba, please leave. You don't belong here. You are a constitutional delinquent. You have to leave. Then we can proceed with the business of the house. I'm sure each and every one of us are competent to can deliberate on the state of the nation. But Mr. Zuma is a delinquent. He breached the Constitution. He doesn't belong in it. It is him that should leave. Honorable Ndlozi, you are wrong not to protect us. You protecting him to stay here. As a constitutional, as a criminal.
You are not making a point of order.
It is a point of order.
It's no longer
How
a
do you
point of
call
order.
this house in session when people have invaded? Mr. Zuma together with those two guys, they don't belong in here.
Honorable
He's a
Ndlozi,
criminal and they must leave.
Honorable Ndlozi, take your seat.
So are you then saying, in terms of principle, in terms of ethic, in terms of approach, Julius Malema has remained spotless, and all that's changed is President Jacob Zuma? The same Julius Malema who was called into court over SARS, the same Julius Malema over his SARS bill, for example. And I know he spoke with that about it being used as a political kind of, maneuver. But there are issues around that empirically, regardless of the political context. The same Malema who's, noted for his Heineken drinking and his Chivas Regal and his Breitling watch, is that the same Julius Malema who hasn't changed and who now leads your party, which you say holds the key to South Africa's economic future?
Absolutely. I mean, that everything that you've said doesn't provide a counter-argument for a person that can successfully lead industrialization, expropriation of land, that can be faithful to the Constitution, that will be able to lead in constant consultation with the people of South Africa, that will bring everybody on board. Heineken, really? I mean, President Mbeki drinks, we know it's one of the empirical things. He smokes a pipe. President Mbeki used to wear Louis Vuitton or some other label. I mean, what does it mean? It means nothing. Is that a counter argument to leadership? No. President Mandela used to have designer suits. He would go to a designer to design a proper suit cut properly fit for him. You're being petty. You're playing in the same narrative of people who are unable to raise their eyes and say you have violated the law in this way. And no one has been able to prove what law he broke. And when they are unable to, they start putting a price tag on the food that he eats. I'm saying to you, he's still the same man and more braver than all the people in the ANC who are allowing President Zuma to bring the country on its knees. Naledi Pandor, who has never had the controversies that you're talking about. Must I have a Naledi Pandor who stands there and says, when members of parliament are trying to hold President Zuma, frivolous point of order? Who wants to continue with business as usual in an abnormal situation? Those are your role models?
Granted, this morning we're joined by the winner of the competition, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. Mbuyiseni, well, congratulations. Look, how do you feel about winning this award?
I feel very much honored, and I would like just to thank the Lord and give him the glory, because I believe it's not by might, not by power, but it's by his spirit. So I just...
People,
point of order,
they are only 40% away from being a majority.
What's your point of order?
It's unparliamentary to deliberately mislead the House about the losses of the ANC and the gains of the EFF.
If you say,
look at the benches, brother. Don't be overwhelmed by your ego.
Honorable member.
That's why you are in the NCOP and not
Honorable
in here.
member.
That's fine.
Because
Honorable
they lost.
Honorable
Next is old age home.
Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Yes, honorable member.
I'm worried that this minister that we pay so much, Minister Maite Maite, she's sleeping in Parliament, and with that position, she's going to fall. And the minister would have fallen. She's still sleeping.
Honorable member.
She's still, I don't know, what's happening?
That's not a point of order. Take your seat.
No. The minister is sleeping. You can't say that's not a point of order.
Josie,
are you condoning people sleeping now?
Josie,
we must come to sleep here in Parliament.
Honorable self, proceed.
We pay you. Don't sleep here. Hey, man. We're busy debating. You are sleeping. You are a sleepist. You think we're sleepist
Take your
here?
seat. Hey, honorable member. Take your seat.
Order, Deputy Speaker. Order, Deputy Speaker. Order.
What's your order?
You can't call an honorable member. Hey, when now. This is not a case here.
Honorable member, take your seat. Take your seat.
You must not be emotional, Chief.
Take your seat, honorable members.
Dr. Mbuyiseni, Ndlozi, what, in your mind, as the EFF, who are the likely successors and who are the people that you might accept as credible candidates to take up this position? Are there any people like that in the ANC?
My duty this morning, Ekoli, is to drive the message to the people of South Africa that we have no other choice but to remove Nhlanhla Nene from taking care of state funds. He has lost credibility, he has lost integrity, and he's a liar. He lied in relation to meeting the Guptas, and secondly, has lied about giving us an accountability, something that reflects his attitude towards Parliament, that he doesn't take Parliament seriously. And that's important. If Ramaphosa does not remove Nhlanhla Nene, there is no difference between him and Jacob Zuma, fundamentally, because this would be, I think, the fourth minister that we've been saying to him, you're sitting with people who have no regard for ethics, who have no regard for people's resources, who have no regard for accountability, who are arrogant, and therefore, increasingly, what we are having is an ANC that no longer has a collective of men and women with integrity.